Oh, very clever. Go on, go quickly before they squish you. So, hello. So this is us in the centre of the maze. And so far, we've done a few different rides. What have we done so far?
We've done the mouse one.
The wild mouse.
The House Max. Iron Brew. And the Super Shakes.
And we also did the Nemesis thing, the infusion.
Yeah, the infusion, yes.
What's been the best one so far?
The House Max is really cool. You get a lot of roller coaster. The mouse one was quite scary because I was like, oh my god, I was going to see. But
Yeah. It was quite nice to do. I think that at the moment my favourite's been the mouse actually because it's one we haven't done yet.
Yes.
So that was nice. So, should we see if we can get out of here and then go do something different?
yes.
Excellent. It's because that is a really pretty ride.
That's actually not a bad one.
Hello, well this is day 2, day proper 2 of our Lakeland holiday, and we weren't in Lake District today. We buggered off to Blackpool.
We had to squeeze some roller coasters in here somewhere.
Yeah, that's my sort of thing. So the big first thing to say with this one I'd like to talk about is that we got an exclusive. We are, from what the people said doing it, we were the fifth group of people to ever go on the Wallace and Gromit ride. The Thrill-O-Matic. Can we read? Yes. The Wallace and Gromit Thrill-O-Matic, a riveting ride, Blackpool
You can
Pleasure
see that
Beach.
there.
Well, you'll see it in a minute, don't worry. Quick story on this one, because we didn't think we were going to get on it, and we did try. They're building it. We've come late March 2013.
It's not due to open until end of April.
Yeah, and at end of April they're giving preview seats. Basically, it's £10. You get on the cart. That gives you the ride, and you get like a certificate saying that you got a preview run. So we weren't too worried. We knew this was happening. We weren't sure whether the tickets were available yet or not, and went, sod it, we weren't worried. But then we saw the roller coaster, sort of the outside of it, and then we went into the gift shop, and that was what really did it, because they had some of the best merchandise. They had some really cool stuff. And it was like, oh, I really want this jumper and this t-shirt and this toy and this and that. But we can't buy them because it's got Thrill-O-Matic written on it. And there's no point in buying ride merchandise if you weren't on the ride. It seems like cheating a bit.
Yes.
So we actually did sort of run around and even went out to the ticket office to ask and see whether it was available and whether we could actually buy one of these preview shots. No, not available till late April. Sod it. Never mind. So I think we were both in a little bit of a sulk about that. I certainly wanted to. I was a bit.
Especially after seeing all the merchandise and stuff, it was just like,
I want a sheep.
A wall of Shaun the Sheeps. I need
must have sheep. Yeah. So we were a bit down. My thing was with the thing was they had a hat that I can wear, the types of hat I wear. So I was like, oh, I really want that. That's not fair. But later on in the day, wandering past completely randomly, it was up and running because we wandered past and the big animatronic one, Wallace and Gromit, on top of the thing were moving and it was playing the music and oh, they must be testing music. And Rachel went, oh, there's people getting on it. Boom! The people running were actually in stitches because they saw us just legging it. Like, must go on. And that's when they said, yeah, it was a 5. As far as we can tell, the reason why they were doing it was because of training and testing. They needed to check that the thing was working and they needed to train people, so they didn't announce it. And today they had about maximum 500 people in, so it was a really quiet day. So they just slyly opened it.
And this was also about 4 o'clock, so it was
a lot of people had already left.
Gone.
Yeah, it was about 4 o'clock that they opened the thing, so they ran it for an hour. And so we got on it twice. So basically the ride, if you have ever been to Blackpool before, if you've ever seen the mine train there, it's the same track, it's the same ride, it's in the same place as well. They've just thrown away the minecart idea and put Wallace and Gromit in. For those who
put you in a slipper.
And you're in a slipper, yeah. For those of you who haven't been to Blackpool before, the mine train was crap.
It wasn't very good. It was terribly dated. And we went thinking it was going to be a runaway mine train, and it's no. It is just a Peter Pan type little trek around a mine,
but nothing interesting happens. It's just some people
no story,
mining.
There's no one explaining what's happening.
Yeah,
and it was just people mining, and it was a bit like, okay.
Yeah, we were expecting.
Some pics. What do we do now?
Yeah, there's the pics, and they've painted the rocks with some glitter. And we got off, and we as we say, we expected a runaway mine train, and runaway mine trains are always fun, and that was rubbish. But what they've done with it now is really, really good. Basically, it's
all the mining paraphernalia is out. and all the Wallace and Gromit paraphernalia
is in. Yeah. So you go from scene to scene of the
different stories.
different stories. So you get to see, you know, Wallace and Gromit
Blasting off to the moon.
yeah, doing the moon, and Gromit in his little biplane, and them with the rabbit catching machine, etc., etc., with Shaun the sheep and the bunnies and the penguin chicken. And everyone, all the favourites are there. It's really fun. Some of the animatronics are brilliant. We went on it twice and we saw more
Every time we
doing
went.
it. Couple of my highlights for it, I would have thought, would have been sort of the top three things that I remember being the best was when they have the rocket taking off. They do the big moon rocket and it goes up. But it's got the mice, all the mice sitting there, and they're doing this, putting on the shades, and that made me fall over laughing because they were brilliant. So that being there was really good. My second favourite bit was the when they do the biplane. It's Gromit in his little sidecar biplane flying over, and they've got a miniature town underneath that he's flying over, and you actually see, I didn't spot it the first time, it's why I remember it so well now, is because I saw it the second time, and they've got the sheep doing the
triangle.
the sort of, the cheerleader gymnastics triangle
On the motorbike.
on the motorbike behind the van going past underneath, which made me fall over laughing. And then my third favourite part would be the were bunnies in it, and it's huge. And it jumps out at you and goes boo. But so that made me jump, which roots it in my memory. I don't do jumpy things. But they then, but yeah, everyone in our first cut, we all went, oh, because he is really cute and really fuzzy. So that was probably my three best bits of the Wallace and Gromit ride. I would rate it as a very good ride and the highlight of the day.
Yeah.
And what are your three favourite bits? Or have I already
No. The bunny tunnel.
Oh, yes.
You're actually going down a tunnel, and all the bunnies have got their heads poking out, and as you go along, they all start pulling in.
There's some bums as well.
And these are some bottoms with little heels, which I thought was brilliant. Which is the only different one I really had. The Were Bunny and the flyover scene also sort of really stuck with me, because the sort of the flyover when Gromit's in this little plane and you're going over. It is Wensleydale, isn't it, where they live? I think that's the name of the village. I can't remember.
It's either Wensleydale or it's got a really, really silly name.
Yeah, but
Anyway.
when they fly over the village, you know, it's just because there's so many little things going on in it.
Mm.
And it's just actually quite beautiful, that scene, which, you know, everything's very silly and then suddenly come across such a pretty scene. It's really quite breathtaking.
Mm-hmm. And the
Being in
Bunny.
the slippers was terribly fun as well.
Being in the slipper was very cool.
This little grandpa slipper, it was absolutely fabulous.
So, I'd say the final word of warning, or the final thing on that one then is, really good ride.
Yes.
Was that your highlight of the day?
It would have been because it was new and it was
Or we weren't
amazing.
expecting
And I
it?
love Wallace and Gromit, so...
So that was our highlight for today, and we'll do the rest of the show ignoring it. The last thing I would say is they might fix it because we were on a test
Timing
run.
was a little off.
Some of the timing on things was a little off. The big one that the timing was very off on was the photo. It happens right at the start. You've got Gromit.
Yeah, our first photo was us like this.
Yeah, you go, say cheese, and you pass him, and then you turn to see the
Oh,
next
what's that?
diorama. And so as we were going through, it was both of us
like
this. It was ridiculous. It was so funny. So
Everybody's though was like that. It wasn't.
yeah, the
just
timing
us.
on that's really
It's when we went
iffy.
the
So
second time and we knew specifically we had to stay.
yeah,
Looking, we managed our little cheesy.
yeah, we got our pose that time. So yeah, Wallace and Gromit ride really good, exclusive to us. Back to the everyday adventure. Back to your normally scheduled program. So, Blackpool Pleasure Beach, it's in Blackpool. It's quite easy to get to. The only thing you do find is that the promenade and getting once you get into the main car parks,
Parking is a bit random.
fiddly. Yeah, you're on these little side street. They're all little side streets and stuff.
Definitely worth pre-booking the parking though, because you do save money.
Yes, pre-book the parking. That's very good.
And you're guaranteed a space because they reserve it for you.
Yeah, so that's well worth it.
It's not a very big car park. I didn't think.
No, I think they do have several car parks, but that's the key one for if you reserve.
Yeah.
Because remember, we passed a couple of different ones that you could pay for. So yeah, worth prepaying for that if you're going there. It also gives you it till midnight, so if you decide you want to go for a meal or a movie or anything or a show, you can do. The only other thing, so yeah, getting there is easy enough. It's in Blackpool. Best bet to try and get into the parking is get to the promenade, because there's all sorts of weird little fiddly windy roads. Get to the big main road that runs across the pier, and then you find from there, and you'll find it from there, and you're okay. Blackpool Pleasure Beach is Blackpool Pleasure Beach. You think Blackpool doesn't look great. We had this last time we were at Blackpool. That Blackpool itself's a bit worn out and doesn't look terribly great. But the Pleasure Beach is very well kept. So that's really good. And I think today we're going early March was really good. It wasn't too cold.
Not before the Valhalla.
Not before the Valhalla. We'll get to that in a second.
Yes.
That's quite important. We got on everything really quickly. I think the longest we had to queue for was for the Pepsi Max when we first got there, because everyone legs it to the Pepsi Max. Later on, we walked straight on it, pretty much. So, top 3 rides.
Well, I'm terribly fond of the old wooden ones. So the Big Dipper still remains a firm favourite.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed that this time round.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great fun one. You're not, it's not high adrenaline, but it's fun enough and fast enough. You still get that weepy stomach. And you go, woo!
Yeah.
Your bums come up off the seats. It's brilliant. And the mice one.
The Wild Mice.
The Wild Mice was great fun.
Why is that?
We didn't get on that last time. I think it was almost the fact that I felt like we were actually going to fall off the thing. Because it's such a tiny enclosed ride. And this is one thing, because it's still one of the old wooden rides.
Mm-hmm.
And they've managed to get such tiny rides and such tiny, big rides in tiny places. Because it's literally in a cage and you go around and it's great fun. But yeah, you just sort of feel like you were going to go,
yeah.
Wow.
It really throws you. I mean, it was like, Jesus Christ, every 5 seconds.
And last ride, so we're not including the Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah, not including that.
The last ride would be... Oh, I don't know. On the spot now. I can't think. I'll pass. What about you? Top 3.
Top 3. I would usually say Valhalla. Now this is a warning, which we said a minute ago.
Yeah.
I will throw in here. It's
Valhalla.
not on my top or bottom list on this one. Valhalla. The Valhalla is basically a log flume of death, with fire and ice and Vikings, and yeah, you're in a longboat and you get soaked through. Big word of warning on this one: you get soaked, and they do not tone it down.
We were expecting them to put it
go
down a notch,
easy.
give it a wee splash, but it'd be just because it was cold. Although this is like our coldest March in 50 years or something.
It keeps snowing today.
Yes, it was snowing today, so we thought they'd either close the ride or they'd make it kind of
chill it out a bit.
Low-key, like I said, a splash, but. No, we were drowned.
Now, last time we were here, we were high summer, and it was roasting, and it was lovely, and getting absolutely soaked through to the skin was not...
And I checked out and got a poncho.
She got a poncho, I just went for it. It was fine, you dried off. If it's nice hot weather, just do the Valhalla, you'll get soaked, it'll be nice, you'll dry off as you go. If you're going and it's cold...
Just pay the money
just
for the
buy
poncho.
Pay £1 and buy the poncho, because otherwise you're going to end up paying £3-4
gloves,
buying a pair of gloves because your hands are about to fall off, and £1 for the giant hairdryer machine because you're dripping wet, and it's cold
I
and
mean, I had my
horrible.
waterproof coat on, and even then, my jumper, I had 2 t-shirts on, all of it soaked through, you know, my
Yeah.
jeans, everything soaked.
I was
I was still
A-okay.
wet, like, 3
It
hours
was my
later in the
trousers
car.
that got me. I was wearing combats and they were just sodden. So buy it. You'll also enjoy the ride more because if it's cold and horrible outside, I did spend a lot of the ride going, bastards! Every time they splashed me. So that's not going on either my top or bottom because is usually one of my favourites. Also, I'll put it on one of my top. Put it there. It's one of my favourites. Just word of warning with it, they get you wet if you're not prepped for it. You're in trouble. Other good rides, I would have said I always really enjoy the Pepsi Max. Simple as that. It's a really good ride. It's really, really high. It's quite different. And I'm going to throw on, weirdly enough, as the third one, I was actually, mostly because of the design aesthetics, I was really impressed with the Avatar Last Airbender.
Oh, I'd forgotten that one. Yes, that was brilliant.
Basically, it's kind of
Like
like
a
one of the long pirate ship half pipe things, but on a disc that spins round. But the big thing that was interesting was that you don't sit on. Usually, you'll all sit down and all face each other in the circle. But on this, you all face out, and the seat's really weird because you sit on it, kind of like a motorbike, but it comes up over your chest, and then a bar comes out from right at the bottom of the seat and comes up and clamps your back in. And it was just a really weird design and a really fun ride. Yeah. Actually, so I'm going to chuck that one in on a, even if you're an adult, jump on it. Yeah, it's not the most thrill-seeking ride.
It's not as woozy as the pirate ships either.
No, yeah, I didn't lose my stomach.
We've been on some really quite extreme pirate ships now, the RC coaster when we were in Paris.
Yeah.
And
some of the thought park stuff's mental.
Yeah, and so, you know, I personally love that woozy thing, but a lot of people I know really don't do the woozy thing. But because you're spinning, you never quite reach that peak where you get that really whoa lurch. So yeah, I didn't think it was nearly as bad as some of the pirate ships. Yeah.
So that's my top 3, bottom 3. What was crap?
I wouldn't say 3. I would say bottom 1. The one I was most disappointed with was the haunted house. running joke is that after here really doesn't like haunted houses, because you don't like things jumping out at you and stuff, which is fair enough. I managed to drag him in because, you know, I used to love haunted houses growing up, so I dragged him in, and I don't think this thing has been. I mean, it said on it, you know, it was built 1930, and I don't think they've upgraded the decor since 1930. It was really old and really worn looking, and it was just a bit like.
I don't think they really knew what they were doing with it either.
Yeah, because it wasn't like a themed haunted house. It was just, you know, we've got a vampire. Here's some skeletons on bikes. Oh look, it's a monster, and it was a bit like. Did you just like dig up all the stuff from everyone else's haunted house rejects and put them in here? Yeah. So I would say that's my most disappointing ride.
Okay, nothing else. Everything else we're alright with.
Oh, for the most part, yeah.
Yeah. With me, yeah, the haunted house was definitely on the bottom 3. I don't like haunted houses anyway, but I can appreciate them, and this one just didn't work. I think the big problem was a really good ghost house. 2 examples of really good ones would be the Walt Disney Haunted Mansion, because it's not scary. It doesn't have anything go, bah! Which is what I don't like. I don't like things getting right up in my face out of nowhere. I just don't like it. So, but it doesn't have any of that, which. The Haunted Mansion in Disney didn't have that. It didn't have anything jump out at you, but what it had was really beautiful sort of creepy imagery and optical illusions and creepy...
Told a story.
Yeah, and told a story, and it was really clever. and it took its time and went through. Whereas with this Haunted Mansion, it was just sort of like vampire gone. And you were like, so you couldn't take it in that what it was or how it did or the effect. It was just like blah, and it went and it was over there. And it also didn't have much like the Alton Towers Haunted Mansion was the other one I was going to say, which is very scary. That was the one that put the fear of haunted mansions in me as a child. No, it scared the shit out of me as a child. Because it has things pop out and go boo and make you jump, and then things doing weird things like faces, big gribbly faces, and then suddenly the face splits open, and just generally, stuff that either creeps you out or stuff that goes boo. And this one didn't have any of that. It really wasn't terribly impressive. Other things, the other two I would have...
I was about to say the puzzle, the impossible.
That was what I was going to say.
Sorry, continue.
No, you say what you think.
They've got one where it's called Impossible, and it starts off all optical illusion stuff as you're walking through. We didn't actually realise there was a ride to the end of this thing. We just thought it was a... not Ripley's Believe It or Not, a sort of a camera obscura type. Look, it's holograms and pictures that change depending on the way you look at them.
Yeah, just optical illusions.
Fun optical illusions. And that part was great. And then we went, like, there's a ride. We're like, it's a ride? Oh, okay, wow. And I go on about how, the laws of physics have been destroyed. And we went in, and it was the old haunted swing ride. I went to Blackpool when I was about 7, so we're talking like nearly 20 years ago now. And I remember this being the haunted swing, and I loved it, because, I was at that age,
Tell the story.
We went on it with my parents, myself, and sister. We were both 7, and we're sitting there. And this big group of guys came in, and they'd had a few too many. And they were totally freaking out. We're on the swing, the room spinning around, the lights would cut, we were upside down, the lights would cut, everything was all random ways. And me and my sister started looking at it going, we're not actually moving, are we? It's the room, isn't it? And my mum's like, yes, that's how this ride works. We're like, oh, we're very clever 7-year-olds. And we're in this thing, and the room didn't 360 completely.
No.
And it just sort of slowly tilted, and it was just like, they either replace it,
and they didn't switch the lights off
the lights
either.
didn't come off. It's like either replace it or
do it up.
Because it didn't work. Done with it.
I like haunted rooms. The haunted room, like it is, I really like them. The prime example
Hex at Alton Towers is fabulous.
Hex at Alton Towers is
and
awesome.
And it's effectively the same thing.
Yeah, but done up, because it's in this huge room, and it goes upside down, and there's a giant demon face, and it's great. Whereas with this one, it could have just been a normal swing. For as far as it went, it went really steep, but whoop-de-doo. It really should have ended up upside down, or as you say, cutting the lights and having it jump on sounds like a really cool effect.
Yeah.
I'd have really liked to have seen that. So, the Impossible is worth diving through for the optical illusions and things if you just want to take a break but still do something. But if you get on the ride at the end, I would almost just walk through the chicken door and just not bother with it. Or try it, but don't expect much. I think, those were sort of the two big disappointments. I would have actually said as well, I found the PlayStation not to be nearly as exciting.
As others,
As others. We did the other time. We were at Thorpe Park recently. I didn't get any film footage. They have one called the Detonator.
Yeah.
I think it was, and it's like a hangman's thing. And that just cranks you up slowly and then just drops you.
Which is great fun, because it doesn't 3, 2, 1 drop. It's 3, 2, 1
drop.
Bang.
Yeah, they have this.
Great.
They have this piece that they play of you will be sentenced to death, you will be hanged by the neck at 3, 2, 1. And they just drop you randomly at any point during this speech, which is really funny. But I found with the PlayStation, it was really fast going up, but the down was really dull, and actually it didn't have nearly as much or gut wrench as it should have had. So I found that, yeah, the PlayStation was feeling a bit weak. Never mind. Food prices were quite good. We managed to feed ourselves really easy. We did the old Burger King.
That's a job.
Eaten at some of the other places. We ate at one of the fish and chip shops. It was Loki's Bar.
That was last time.
Last time we were here, and it was crap fish and chips. It wasn't very nice. So this time we stuck to Burger King because we know they can't muck it up, basically. And that was nice. And we had some donuts, which were very reasonable, and they were nice. On to the Blackpool doesn't have much merchandise. We did really struggle to find any that was interesting, except for the Wallace and Gromit merchandise, which is why that was such a big deal that we got on the ride. Do you want to start by showing off your stuff?
I got Sean. He sits very nicely. I will model him on that here. He sits very nicely.
Do 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 do. So yes, that's brilliant.
And my t-shirt, I will just sit up. So it's got, there, you just see his nostrils at the bottom there. It's my Sean t-shirt. And obviously, I was saying earlier, it's got on the sleeve the sort of the ride name and the info.
And I got two things as well. This was the big one that I really liked, was the hat, the flat sort of military hat that I like. So we can get a shot on that.
The logo, yeah. Yeah, it looks like it's come up.
That's the logo for it. And yeah, I got the military style hat. I have to be a little bit careful with this one that it doesn't flap my ears out, but nice hat. And pardon me. And the jumper with
It's the logo again.
nice jumper with the logo on it. Nice hoodie.
Can't go wrong with nice hoodies.
So it was the hat. I think it was the hat and a sheep for you.
It's empty.
So.
It's empty.
So that was our trip to Blackpool and our exclusive on the Wallace and Gromit Thrill-O-Matic. Thanks very much for watching. We have no idea what we're doing tomorrow. We're going to go and have a look now. Really, we're going to go and find a Wi-Fi spot and sit and have a look online. So thanks very much for watching, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye bye.